All right, welcome in on our live stream today. We're going to dive into Solana, MATIC. We'll take a look at Bitcoin for you guys as well. Take a look at some outlook for the weekend. Interesting scenarios lining up here, and of course, a big show lined up for you guys. So welcome in. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to Tech Path. Let's get into a couple of things for MATIC. Before we do, let's thank our sponsor, and that is CoinLedger. If you guys are, and you're prepping for taxes right now, starting to do all that sub work. Well, guess what? You can make it a lot easier on yourself just by dialing into CoinLedger. They are integrated into just about every platform I've seen and everyone I use. So it's very easy. It brings all your data in, gives you the capability of filing the forms that you'll need for your CPA, and then of course now your CPA can take a look at this stuff in a lot more efficient manner, make it easy for your taxes. Just use our link below. You'll get a discount and use our code, and it's pretty simple. Let's get into the first topic on news today, and that is Polygon flipping Ethereum in terms of daily active addresses. This is a pretty significant thing because you think about Ethereum as a whole, and I mean it's a beast. For Polygon, a layer 2, which obviously rides on Ethereum, for that to happen is a pretty significant scenario. It's now sagging with 340,000 addresses, just eclipsing Ethereum's 320. This came over from Polyscan. If you guys are not looking at the Polygon scan, I should say. It's a good spot for research. We'll show you some stuff on that here in a minute. Ryan Watt here was his tweet out there, kind of gloating a bit, I think, here. So processing a total of 250,000 or 262 million transactions in Q4, quarter of a billion. 2023's main focus is scaling. So obviously doing this through the ZK rollups on the L2 side. Getting a lot more devs in this will be a big part of this. So I think, strategy-wise, it's one that has been outlined for Polygon for quite some time. It is also, with this news, a reason why you're seeing Polygon just skyrocket here right now. It's a big topic. This is a good explanation because L2s like Polygon, ZK EVMs, aren't just for scaling existing apps, but also for enabling radically new ones. This is something that we have talked about here on the show a lot around what the potential for Polygon could be because of the technology and what it might look like in terms of going forward. Polygon obviously also overtook Solana by market cap. So this is good. Now they're in the top 10. The question will be when Solana maybe makes a little bit of a run here. It's going a little bit sideways on Solana. A couple of things we highlighted in this. Let me kind of zoom in on this for you guys. So obviously it reclaimed its position. Top 10th largest cryptocurrency right now in the world. So good market cap flip thanks to MATIC's recent price action, which is what's happening right now. If you guys are following the MATIC chart, we'll show you that in a minute. The price surged more than 8% in the last 24. And there's a couple of things that came into this. The credit for this price surge. Some people look at recent developments that happened in the ecosystem. You had Zengo Wallet, proud to partnership. There was a little bit there. You had partnerships that make Polygon NFT space more secure. Obviously, the situation with the surge on fuel, the aspect of where total wallets are going. There's a lot of things happening that are right for Polygon, and I still think we are yet to see the real magical partnerships for 2023. So I anticipate their roadmap. I can imagine what it looks like, but I can imagine this one is going to be pretty interesting throughout the year. Here was institutional investors believing one crypto asset, and this is the one that has the most compelling growth outlook in 2023. And of course, everybody kind of leaning into ETH and Polygon, of course, obviously the layout for this. But the question will be, are people sleeping on Polygon even at the little bit of a run-up? If you look at the chart in the year or even in the all-time, you'll see quickly that this is still very, very early for Polygon. Even though that they've done a lot in the last 12 months, and still, again, to my research, I would say Polygon is still the number one biz dev team out there in terms of partnerships. All of that makes good sense. The question, though, will be security. And if you look at Etherscan, here's the node tracker. Let me kind of zoom in on this for you guys so you can kind of see it. So it's kind of small. There it is right there, almost 10,000 nodes right now. Obviously the US leading the way with almost half of those, or a little over half of those. and Germany coming in number 2. Good point is that as we look at kind of the future, security is going to be a major part of this. Obviously, the node network that ETH has in place is a big reason that its security is so relevant for what's happening on Ethereum. But Polygon's also climbing the charts. Now, not necessarily in the same rate. If you look at what they're doing on Node Tracker, let's go over here. You can kind of see right there, only 300 nodes. So imagine how much more Polygon could grow in terms of overall scope, and especially around the potential of where security may layer into this. Again, this will all be demanded by what partnerships Polygon brings in, but also the utility aspect of it. Because remember, a lot of that utility has to take place. Nodes, of course, are going to be needed to help scale that utility. And those are some of the things that really make a big difference. Polygon derivatives DEX also gained gains as well. Network crosses now 1.5 billion in trading volume on Arbitrum. We're probably going to do a deep dive on Arbitrum. We've got some new writers that are coming in for Diamond Circle. Be looking for those in the Diamond Circle emails, because a lot more deep dives. You guys probably saw one of our first Diamond Circle emails coming out, a lot more enhanced, and I'll show you one of them before we get out of here. A lot of good alpha too, and I'll show you why. But anyway, a couple of things happening also with Polygon right here was this news, and that's Fractal and Polygon committed to building a new future for Web3, but also the partnerships. You can kind of see some of the things here with Fractal, which is going to bring a ton of new games into the Polygon ecosystem. So again, more good news for Polygon. Again, one of the reasons why we're seeing unbelievable gains in Polygon right now. So good for you guys that are riding it. Hopefully you were in on our January 6th program, because a lot of things coming in here. Hope you were in on our portfolio on January 6th, because that was a good breakdown of what kind of things we were putting in our portfolio overall. Here's another one from Max Kaufman saying GM Gamers, Ethereum, Immutable, Polygon led the way last year as the top funded blockchains for gaming. All of these games on each of those 3 chains receive investment of nearly $1 billion each. We're going to continue to see, I think, these 3, ETH, Immutable, IMX, and Polygon. I'm kind of watching IMX a little bit, because there could be some opportunities here as we see more scale, especially in Web3. Remember, this is the year I believe we'll see that early bump in the bell curve that will help a lot of the early adopters get in and understand kind of the growth of Web3. And Polygon, Immutable, ETH, those are all going to be projects that are going to be leading the way out there in terms of if you are investing in tokens, but more importantly, the utility of what use case will be going forward. So lots of cool stuff. Magic Eden on Polygon, Phantom, of course, multi-chain wallet beta is in place. So you've got some access codes there you can get to. But again, Phantom is now linked in with ETH and Polygon. So very cool. Solana's working both ways. So I like that. This is something that I think, within the, especially within the wallets, I think as we see more cross-chain wallet usage, as well as just the NFT networks that are out there in the ecosystems that are continuing to grow, this is a good marriage, because I think we're going to see more and more of this, definitely with more technology. Here's .swoosh coming in. Here's, of course, we heard the news there on We did a big deep dive on Nike and .swoosh around all of this. Go back and look at our video on that, because it was a really good rundown of everything that Nike's doing with Artifact and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Nike's home for virtual co-creation launches on Wednesday. This was this week. Last month, the .swoosh community voted on their favorite sneakers. Again, more of the phygital space, but I think the big part of this for the future is going to be in the NFT collectibles side of things, and we're going to see a whole new era for Nike and what it might be. Now, this next tweet, I'm not sure where this is going, but there is a lot of speculation, and it could run rampant, I think, out there on the interwebs. But you got Ryan Watt. This guy is the lead, I think the lead dog over there in terms of ideation on where this is going. But you'll notice that he's got a little bit of move going on here with McDonald's. So we saw some stuff happening with McDonald's and Solana a couple of weeks ago wasn't necessarily a big thing. You know, it was a lot of it was, you know, kind of here's what we're thinking kind of stuff. And we did a big breakdown on what McDonald's needs to do in the NFT space, but more importantly in how they deploy. So maybe there's some little dancing moves happening here right now. If this does happen for Polygon, if they were able to bag the beast, being McDonald's, that would be, especially if they do it in the right way, meaning, you know, because I don't necessarily call the Starbucks a win, even though it's a win for Polygon, it's not a win for execution. That's something that, watch my Starbucks video, I did a full breakdown on this, why I think it's got problems, where it could improve. It's not a bad thing, it's just, you know, it's like most new stuff. It just rolls out very slowly and it comes with time. I think someone's going to hit a home run here. This year, I think we're going to see some utility aspect within a major retail brand that hits a home run on integration. And once that happens, we will see an onslaught of companies and enterprises rushing into Web3. This happened in social media in 2007-8. And because early people didn't really understand the ability of what social was doing in terms of curating a real community. That was when the light went on. And that's where I think Web3 is going to come in and really change things pretty quickly. Which, by the way, we got a new show coming in to the network. Also some new people joining in, so you'll see some new faces. You'll also see some new podcasts coming on, some new videos here on the channel. A lot happening here on the network. As we promised, this is going to be a big year for PBN. Solana flips Shiba to regain footing post-FTX. Is MATIC next? Can Solana reposition? A lot of people have been asking me, can Solana reposition and go after that? Listen, I think they're around 9 bill right now. MATIC, I think, let me look here and just see where that market cap is holding. Let's scan down here real quick. Yeah, so MATIC holding at, yeah, 10 bill, 9 bill. So literally $1 billion apart right now, almost to the dollar. Woo. So it's very possible. The question will be, is who gets slotted out of here? I mean, is it going to be MATIC, or do we see both of these run and displace Doge? Cardano's still within reach, you know, at 13 billion. So, I mean, yeah, these could come in. And remember, this is an important thing to get into that top 10, because it typically is how not only new people come in, they're looking for tokens that, you know, kind of are the secure versions of that, but also the enterprise side. And this was the thing I was talking about earlier. Maybe it's too early for the enterprise to completely be, you know, full in on this. ETH is kind of their thing. But could we see a potential where Polygon comes in and starts playing into this game? I don't know. This could be very interesting in the next 6 months. Let's see, what else do we have today? Because there's some cool stuff. Solana Mobile. Again, mobile developers, we talked about the dApp Store earlier this week. That's a big deal. We did a full breakdown on that. I do think this is a good thing for Solana, not shilling Solana. And I still think, you know, Solana has a lot of headwinds against it, but it is running at least in the right direction. The fact that it has not cratered due to FTX still is a surprise to me. As I promised, if you go over to PolygonNetwork.com, you'll find our new site layout, some things you guys can get into. What I would recommend is getting into the Diamond Circle, which is our, you know, it's our insider email. But what we've done with that is we've really opened up. This was the market mover update we did today. And there's a lot of things here that I put in these. A lot of the new features. Here's my research list that you guys now have access to. We're putting that in there. Very nice. You can kind of follow the dots there if you miss some of the stuff, what's going on in VR, all that. Here's some videos for the week for you. And then here's a cool feature, is my audio notes. And this is where I'm explaining how and where our CPI flows into charts and what we're looking for in certain things. This one, of course, is about Bitcoin. So these are very unique emails. I would suggest get in on at least the free membership. If you guys want to level up, you can get into Diamond Circle Plus. It's a pretty cool tool. Let's take a look at Solana right now. Again, going a little bit sideways here. And I'd love to get your guys' feedback on where you think this is, where you think this is heading. We're going to drop in. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, coming back above 23. This is a thing that we've been talking about Friday. In fact, it was in my audio note in the email this morning. is watching for literally what we're seeing right now. And that is that, and I'll show you some sentiment on that. But this is the kind of scenario that has been playing out. And Jeff Ross actually hit this. And his point is that these cycles around Friday, I think he even did that on, I probably should bring up his Twitter and show you. But he did an analysis on, hey, Friday's coming. It looks like we're going to see another move. He's still looking upside on this. We're seeing a little bit of conflicting evidence of that. But at the same time, the data is starting to spin slightly on Bitcoin. So I'm very interested in that. MATIC, on the other hand, look at this chart. I mean, these are crazy numbers for where MATIC has gone. And again, if you were back here on right about there, Jan 6, we'll put it at Jan 8. And right now, if you guys don't know, if you're in the mastermind group, we've been taking some profits on this and slightly taking profits up on MATIC as we go, because it was one of our biggest bags that we've been managing. And again, 45% nice moves there. I love it. Yeah, funny stuff. You guys are always talking about that stuff. It's crazy. All right, we'll get over to some questions. I know we have the poll too, and I'll get to the sentiment. I promise. Stick around for that. Poll, here we go. How long until Solana reclaims top 10? Months. Woo! All right. Man, it's only $1 billion away. Solana just needs a couple of big things to occur. A retail integration, some sort of NFT play. Remember, market moves on news, these kind of things, or even rumors for these. So I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence that it might come a little faster. Let me get into some sentiment for you guys. Let's take a look at a couple of questions too, guys. Let's go over to Jerry Crosby. Paul, some sleepers to look at in July and August, Uni and DOT. Okay. Well, Uniswap's been doing some good things here. Very interesting. This is what I wanted to show you on Bitcoin right here. This is today's sentiment. Notice how we're flatting a little bit. I mean, it's slightly up, yes, on top line. This right here is what I'm interested in. The 62 to 63.51, almost a full point. This is a big move, and especially the fact that it's moving above overall market, which is trending slightly down. Overall market's doing nice, but this is my point when you go back here and look at Bitcoin of what's happening right here. Now, could this recorrect? We're already at 23.2, and it looks like we're starting to wick a little bit here on the 4 hour. So this might be an interesting Friday again, which would be our third Friday in a row to see some moves. This thing shoots up to 24. You guys should be in the CPI. Web3 Me, do you use Solana, Paul? I use it occasionally in some aspects, but I've held it, and then I've been in and out of it. So I trade in and out. I have Phantom Wallet. We have Solana in it. I use it occasionally when I need to, whether it's on Magic Eden or somewhere like that on NFTs, for sure. I would agree with you, Rob. I think Doge gets pushed out. BX Boot says I hate Solana. Not true. It's just I hate down. And I hate betas. That's what I hate. ADA has been in the news lately. Some red flags. It seems so far behind. We did a big, Cardano deal, and interestingly enough, the Cardano Nation did something interesting. But I won't go into that here on the news. Hit me up on Twitter at Paul Bear, and then we'll DM it out. Wolf of Cardano. I don't think MATIC will beat out gains of Cardano. ADA, keep watching it. Okay. Let's look and see where ADA is right now. And you can kind of see ADA's been a little bit sideways, but it did have a lift right here, even though it did correct down slightly. What was that correction from here? So if you did get on that little bit of a dip, that was a 10% correction. Again, this was back in January 14th, but let's assume that you picked up the correction and you pulled that position in. What does that position look like? Let me scan down a little bit here, guys. Yeah, let's take a look there. All right, because it's on an uptrend. All right, so that's an almost 18%. So that would be a good little run too. But I mean, comparison to what's happening over on MATIC, I don't know. Depends. Maybe you're juggling a lot of different altcoins. Okay, maybe that's a good potential there for you guys. Corey, but Evan says MATIC may go back down to 40. Listen, a lot of these things are going to correct, guys. We are going to see a little bit of a headwind with FOMC. There's going to be a little pushback. We got that coming. This may be our last little run before we see Mr. Powell kind of jump back into this and reposition, the brainwaves. But at the same time, the likelihood of getting a nice little pump, knowing when to come back and see these corrections, that's called dollar cost averaging opportunities. Those are the kind of scenarios you want to look for and buy. What is your entry on MATIC right now? If we were going on MATIC, I'll have to update our portfolio, but let's take a look. If you're out of the trade right now, the resistance and potential rejection that we're going to see, if MATIC continues to chart here like it is right now, and we see it maybe at 125 or maybe higher, then your next resistance down is back down here around $1. Now, granted, that's in the short term, and let's go over to the 6 month. You can kind of see just the difference on where MATIC has been. It's almost reclaiming that 6 month high, which was at $1.28. And we picked up some of these in the past over time, but there's some interesting things happening with MATIC right now. Could this be one of the breakouts? If it does reject, it's going to come back into that 91 cent, which is one big area, and then the $1 range, which we've had a couple here recently, but that 91 cent range, notice if you look at that chart a little bit, you here on the 6 month, you can kind of see some points right here and right here in this area. Let me just kind of highlight these for you guys. Let's go to the brush. And if you look at this area right here, this was the 91 cent area right there. So that was what, November through December? That could happen. And then you had the same thing kind of occur right back in here also at these points of rejection right there. So that was back in September. So interesting. There's some possibilities here, but I look at sentiment more so than charts. We have a lot of guys in the crypto pit that do charting, and they're always messing with the tools. But with sentiment, it still weighs in on the issue around what drives price action. And price action drives market cap. Market cap positions coins, tokens getting positioned in the top 10 drives investment. And that is what I'm watching right now. No Justice, question here. Is Elon Musk making less impact on Doge? I think so. He's very, very distracted with Twitter right now. Stocks moving higher today. Yeah, man. I mean, look at Meta and Disney. Ooh, nice moves. Thanks to our crypto pit. We were doing those, so good stuff over there. Please don't compare MATIC with Sol. All right, you're right. Don't compare an L2 to an L1. I would agree. That's true. But, in terms of an investment, they have a lot of similarities around what they're doing. That's why I think a lot of times it does get compared. All right, guys, you guys stick around. As I said, make sure and get on, backing on the Diamond Circle, just join. It's very easy and it's free. It's over on Substack now, so you can go to pbn3.substack.com and join it right there, or you can click it off our website, paulbaronnetwork.com. Boom, you'll be in. And it's free. We do a lot of those audio notes. We're adding in additional analysis, new podcasts, so much more stuff than our old system, which was a little clunky to get out content. That has changed massively. So do that. If you guys want to follow me, it's out there on Twitter at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.